Anarchist mob plotting a summer of thuggery, screams the Daily Hate Mail. There was certainly a proper kick-off in Whitehall on Saturday, but once again, as we're forecasting the election results, the media got it all wrong. First of all, it had nothing to do with the People's Assembly, so-called. They had bottled out of holding a protest. After all, they didn't want to rock that boat that lays firmly at the bed of the ocean, sunken forever. So much for the Guardian's coverage then. Best though was the idiotic fantasy conjured up by the Daily Hurrah for the Black Shirts Mail. More shoddy journalism achieved by trawling the Facebook. Real story of Saturday's disturbances was the protest outside the Conservative Party's headquarters, which was called by the disabled people protesting against future austerity measures, supported by groups like London Black Revolutionaries. There was a sprinkling of lefties who attempted to flog their pitiful publications and raising their tired old slogans, but most of the people were very young, not hardcore Black Bloc at all. But the Black Bloc will come in time, and probably in the not too distant future. And here is proof itself from the Daily Hate Mail. 16, 17-year-old girls. Very hardcore Black Bloc there. Anyway, the march went past Downing Street and into part of the West End, and it was entirely spontaneous. Noisy for sure, but friendly and good-humoured. And peaceful too, with only about 100 police on duty who had made no attempt to prevent it winding its unpredictable course, which was probably wise on their behalf, as the demonstration numbered between 1,000 and 1,500. And there wasn't any real trouble, apart from some traffic disruption. Trouble only broke out on the third time it halted outside the PM's residence. It wasn't a riot. No damage apart from barriers overturned and dragged into the road, and someone sprayed "fuck the Tories" on the war monument. Shock, horror yet again from the establishment. Not a word about scores of ex-service personnel sleeping rough on London streets that night. Them, amongst many others. The disturbance, which wasn't all that serious, although it looked spectacular on the various medias, was finally quelled by the arrival of Riot police hot foot from Walthamstow, where 400 of them had been protecting 100 EDL morons who decided to recreate their humiliation of 2 years ago. First time as farce, second time as sad. Very sad indeed. Anyway, back to what turned out to be the first full day of the new Tory government and our response to it. I can only reiterate, it was spontaneous and not some dastardly left-wing plot. And speaking of the hard left, as the Daily Mail calls them, us anarchists are not part of the left. We merely operate on the same terrain as the left. We are entirely different from them politically, although we do oppose the same things such as capitalism and racism. Journalists do, and please read a few history books. Anarchism emerged as a revolutionary anti-statist, anti-authority wing of the workers' movement about 150 years ago. Never mind the dead wood of the left, we are, worldwide, the future of the true revolution in the 21st century, not some superannuated left. And also the fossilized trade union movement. Well, I suppose we're only part of any revolutionary movement that will spring up in this country and beyond, but we'll be there at the beginning, and we'll be there pushing it forward always and throughout. The official left-wing politics, as represented here by the Labour Party, or the Red Tories, as people in Scotland are quite rightly calling them. We have Dead Ed, who's buried under his 6 Commandments tombstone, and what a collection of middle-class deadbeats are now in contention for the poison chalice of Labour leadership, who are all, in the wake of their defeat, are bleating out the same tired old rubbish about the centre ground, and Middle England, and the aspirational. Don't he want to make you chuck up Obama, Mrs. Ed Balls, Yvette Cooper, Andy Borman, and the Toff, Tristram Hunt. What a collection. Well, at least if the latter wins, we won't have much trouble with our rhyming slogans. 5 more years. But remember, all you growing number of discontented, better riots under the Conservatives. I'll see you out on the streets. Bye.